What's up, and welcome back to another episode of Blindside Sports. My name is Emmett Douglas. Get me on Twitter at EmmettNoC04. And joining me today is one of the newer, comers to Fox Sports Radio. You can hear him on the Bernie Fratto show and the fellows with my guy Anthony Gargano. And he'll be filling in on Countdown to Kickoff and the Red Zone show on Sunday for Bursch. It's Ethan Miller at Ethan Miller Ent on Twitter and Instagram. Ethan, welcome to Blindside Sports, man. I know we've had the very busy schedules of holidays and you working and all that, but finally glad to get you on.
Emmett, it's great to be here. You're like a hot commodity. Everybody's been on your show. I feel like you're not a part of Fox Sports Radio unless you're on this show.
Yeah. You have to go. No one's going on an interview like the weekend overnight producer or the weekend overnight technical producer or the, Bursch is kind of making his, way now, but I interviewed Bursch a while ago before, that was right when he's on day shift. When I interviewed Bursch. So, I've had it all from people like Ben Maller to, people still, working the way up like you or Ricky. So, I'm glad to have you on today, Ethan.
Who is your favorite though, out of all of them? If you had to,
are you talking interviews or like?
Yeah, you have to choose one. I'm great. I'm happy to be here too. I just have to know so that the people know who you're.
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably one of my favorite ones to do. It's kind of hard, but Jonas, I've had that guy on a couple times, and Jonas is one of the realest people in the business, man. That guy, super nice dude. He doesn't take anything for granted. Very humbled. Just an awesome guy, man. He always fun to talk about him. He's been he's one of the reasons I kind of wanted to do this, where I kind of make the show fun, where make jokes and all that and stuff like that. Because Jonas, man, that guy, listen to his weekend overnight show. That back in the day, and then him on the weekends of Brady Quinn. That's where I go. And obviously Ben Maller is the other one.
So you were around for his weekend.
So I'll give you. I started listening to Fox back. So like before, obviously being blind, I wasn't like on play computer games or whatever. But I had a radio. I had a radio at a very young age, and the affiliate was. We never talked about this on the show, so shout out Ethan for digging.
Oh yeah, baby, let's do this.
And
dig in. Tell me more.
So there was a radio station called Sports Radio KGR, and that's the affiliate down here. And I'm in Olympia, and in Seattle is where that is. So that's a 45-minute drive from here. I turned on my radio. And I was always into, the hip hop, the music, stuff like that. I'd have those on. And one day I'm just like this is a while ago before I even had technology. So it was a dial. This is like 2013. So,
wow.
Switching the dial and it was Sports Radio KJR. I found that. And obviously, me being blind, TV, like what you'd watch, I still watch some stuff on like Netflix and Hulu and all that, but it wasn't like as big to me as it was, any other kids. So right. I found that, and then it was an FM station, and for whatever reason, AM just wasn't working on my radio, right? So I was listening to them for about 6 months. This is before Jonas even worked. So I wasn't getting much Fox Sports time, but I like the national guys better because they talk about more than just the local guys. Are all blowharding about local teams. I'm a Seahawks fan, by the way, so I don't really care, but I'd rather hear the national stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
After that, they took the Sports Radio KJR off the FM, and it was still on. It's always been on AM. It's still on AM, and my radio wasn't working with the AM. So when I got my iPad a couple months later, that's when I started to listen to Fox Heavy, and then I started listening to Jonas, and then I wasn't really listening to overnight shows until COVID,
right.
And then that's obviously when everything started. I started calling Ben and during the COVID.
Yeah.
My first interview was Brian Finley. Great dude. You've played golf with him before.
Finley's great.
Good dude. Yep. So yeah, that's kind of how I got started, man. So what happened with you? How'd you get to where you are now? I know you were at Temple. You grew up Philly, born and raised, and came out here and got a job at Fox. So
well, that's a cool story. Well, we're happy to have you listening at Fox Sports. I love when you call in. It's a good call in. You better be calling in later too.
I'm not gonna be home later. I told you earlier.
You got a big party, big birthday.
Yeah, big bird. It's not even a bird. It's just he wants us to come see him before he dips. So I'm like, all right, what, we gotta honor that.
Oh, you gotta honor it. It's a violation.
You gotta honor the boys, right?
Yes. So
Yep.
I'm from Philly. Now, obviously, not obviously, but I'm a big Sixers, Phillies, Eagles, Flyers fan. Uh, raised the right way, which is a Philadelphia sports fan in
At
the
least you're not a
city.
Cowboys fan.
It would never. I mean, I would die before being a Cowboys fan. But that's a whole other discussion. I I played sports growing up. I played like soccer and baseball. I even kicked for the football team. Was really into sports, and I've been doing broadcasting since the age of like 10 years old.
Oh wow.
Well, it's always been a huge passion of mine. And then I went to Temple University, if you know of it, in Philadelphia. And from there, I got a lot of experience, doing radio there at WHIP and, different radio stations around the Philadelphia region. And then I came out to Los Angeles and I was like a Hollywood assistant for a year and a half, 2 years. And then I decided I was going to get out of the Hollywood world a little bit and work in sports, which I love. And so here I am.
What year did you come out to LA?
I came out
2019.
2019 September, and
Right.
I had 6 to 7 months before the pandemic hit.
Oh,
I got to know what the Los Angeles COVID life was definitely like. So I was here for most of that. You know how the world was; it was on stop.
dude,
So
yeah, no traffic.
yeah,
Like I feel like now, like I was Christmas shopping a couple weeks ago, and me and my family we were going from the mall to a whole nother area, and I didn't realize how bad the traffic was until this, man. The traffic, no matter where you are, I don't care where you are, the traffic, I feel like it's back in full effect and even worse than COVID. You live in LA, so you know what I'm talking about here. I mean,
I know traffic is horrible. I
live in a I mean, I live in like a way smaller town, and I still deal with it. I couldn't imagine LA traffic. I mean, probably take you 2 hours to get to the studio tonight.
You know what? It's funny because sometimes I want to get out and walk on the 405 and feel like I'd get to the studio faster than driving. So, yeah, no, that's a good thought. I'll probably have to leave. I don't live far. When there's no traffic, it's like a 25-minute drive. But when there's traffic, it's about like an hour to the studio. Yeah,
That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. No, for Los Angeles terms,
That's why you guys spend so much money on gas.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. It's like $5 here. What is it? What is it over there?
The gas station right around the corner from me. It's like 3 something.
3 something.
Yeah, like 3. I mean, I can Google it in a couple minutes here, but like
it's
below 4. I mean, because I don't even drive, but like I got friends who complain about it, and I'm kind of curious, see what the market's like, and I mean this one's one of the cheaper ones in the area too, and because like we still got some places like over $4 here, and obviously California is more expensive than we are, so you guys will probably get to 4s here in the next couple months, hopefully.
I mean, that'd be nice. I mean, some gas stations have it at 3-4, but most are around 5.
You get real lucky. I mean, I remember a couple months ago here when it was still up there, and people would find that one cheap one, and man, it was go time.
Yeah.
So you got to September 2019. You worked as a Hollywood director or Hollywood assistant for a year, and then you came over to FSR.
Yep. So I worked for a guy named. I still work for him on some projects and stuff. This guy Jeff Beecher, he does. He's like a Hollywood consultant. Used to be like a Hollywood party goer, where he throw Vegas and Los Angeles nightclub parties. It used to be called Beecher's Madhouse. The older crowd may know, like the 40, 50-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
and it was a big success. And now what he does is that through his relationships there, he was able to build. He now helps them with partnerships with the Silicon Valleys of the world and all that kind of stuff. So it is cool to work in that field, but I love sports and I love producing and you know um, entertaining in that asset. So it was just time for me to kind of just move on from that and you know go to the radio route. Kind of just what my major was for school, and
Communications.
the passion
Yeah.
with communications, and it was media production communications.
Oh wow.
So that was just that was the reasoning, and I love Fox Sports. It's great. It's a great environment. Everybody's a lot of fun, and it's great because everybody knows sports, obviously.
Besides Alex Teichert.
You know what? I stand corrected. Tight shirt does not know sports.
Dude, the other couple weeks ago, I think you might have been like in the back or something for this, but you must have been wearing a Philly shirt that day or a 76er shirt because it was a Smith and Harmon show, and it was Dan Byer, the great Dan Byer, sitting in, and they did a Family Feud that they do, and he was like, because of it, and it was I think I'm getting like, I think in the punchline on this wrong, but it doesn't matter because it's still funny. He was like, the question was like a basketball question, and he said the Phillies because of the shirt you were wearing, or it's either a baseball question. And he said the Sixers because the shirt you were wearing that day.
That's funny.
I feel like I was the only one who caught it. He's like, in honor of producer Ethan Miller, and then he said the Phillies, and it was not even that sports question. I was just like, wow.
No, that's fine. No, honestly,
Teichert has me fooled though, because there's sometimes where like he's spewing hot takes, but you're like, oh, Rob G definitely told him to say that. I mean,
everybody's in tight shirts here. Only thing that guy knows is anime and a dumbbell.
And how to make a smoothie in the FSR kitchen.
Oh yeah, that guy definitely knows how to make a smoothie. I'll give him that.
Put like 25 things in that smoothie.
I mean, yeah, who knows what he puts in it?
I put seeds, mangoes, blueberries. He went over it one time on one of the weekend shows, and I was just like, dude, how much does that cost per every meal? Like, it's like going to like a 5-star like restaurant with like the steak, like the filet mignon and lobster. Like, I was like, dude, this guy's dropping like 50 at least for the smoothie. There's no way it's cheaper than that.
He would tell you differently, actually. He would tell you that it's cheap. I still don't buy it.
No, he said, this is the most expensive meal I eat of the day. I remember that. He just won't say the price. He wasn't going to incriminate himself that hard, I don't think.
I'd give it a, with everything that goes in it, probably.
There's some stuff we've never heard of. So that's where, looks like you got to think about blueberries and all that. That could be.
I think it may be a $200 drink,
Zingung seeds. I'm like, what are you talking about, Teichert? I mean, it was funny, man. Knowing everything that goes in that thing, in the blender.
Maybe we'll send you one.
Oh God, I don't even know if I want to try it. If I ever go out to LA, though, I'll definitely have to get him to let me try it. I think that would be a funny video.
Oh, I think so too.
Because no one else has tried the Teichert smoothie. I don't think.
I've tried it. It's disgusting.
Is it good?
No, it's disgusting. I've had it a couple times. It's putrefying.
I bet Rob G did not like it either.
No, Rob doesn't drink that stuff.
He's going. Yesterday they were doing the shot talk, and he was like, yeah. Alex like, Rob G's getting food right now. I was like, he went over to El Pollo Loco during the break.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, Rob's the beast at FSR.
Yeah, both the Robs, Rob G, Rob Parker, that whole show, Alex Teichert, they're all beasts.
Right? Yeah.
Yep, Broussard's awesome, man. I mean, that guy working first things first, and then immediately hopping on the train, coming back home and doing the Odd Couple. And obviously he's had a bunch of family stuff, so thoughts are with Mr. Broussard. I mean, he's out today in Louisiana, honoring his dad's life, having a funeral. So not why I wanted to miss like week 18, but life sometimes has to throw you those challenges. What's been your favorite moment in FSR so far? I mean, it could be producing, it could be some weird behind the scenes, or
I would say, huh? I would have to say the Super Bowl was my favorite experience because we got a lot of free food
Ooh,
and it was fun. Everybody was there from host to editors to producers to upper executives and stuff. So the Super Bowl is a good time. Trying to think of another time. I would say when anytime Truth is in the studio.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Brandon's a great guy. I've had him on before.
Oh, you had Truth on. When did you have the Truth on?
I had him on in June this year. I could send you the episode after the show if you want to check it out. I had him on like June of 2022. Like he was yeah.
The big Truth.
What's funny about it? What do you guys? Is he what's he do?
I was just kidding. He it's just always good when Truth is in the building, you know. You get some
BT.
We got this new guy, Pat, too. You'd like Pat.
Oh, is he an editor?
Yeah, he's an editor. He's a goofball for sure.
Hopefully they put him on the producing side of things. I mean, you can't have the goofballs not talking.
We got any goofball you can get talking, you know.
Yeah. I mean that's why Iowa Sam's kind of a goofball. No offense.
Oh, he's a goofball. That guy's a walking goofball.
Yeah, he's funny though.
And goofballs can't walk, you know.
It just shows the greatness of Iowa Sam.
Yeah.
Have you craziest caller you've had to deal with in your short time producing?
Angry Bill. He's a douche.
Oh, that guy is the biggest douche on sports radio.
Listen, he owns it. I actually have a decent relationship with Bill, so hopefully he doesn't see this. You know, we have a decent relationship on the phone line.
I don't think Angry Bill knows what YouTube is, so I think you're fine. Angry Bill, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, dude. Sometimes you're funny. It's like a 50-50. Depends on who you're hating on. But
yeah. So I'd say him. He's been the worst.
The worst. Wow. You and Ferg Dog talk a lot, seems like.
Oh, Ferg Dog's great. He's great.
That dude's funny as well. We talk all the time over Twitter. His love for the great Brian Fenley is.
He's great. Yeah, Ferg Dog's great. Who you got to get these people to? I got to get my. So here's what happened. I had a Twitter, right? I had like 1,300 followers. I had it since like high school. But the problem is that we're in a time period where you can't. You got to watch what you say.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I tweeted from 2010, 2011, 2012. So I didn't feel like going back. So I deleted my Twitter and started a new Twitter. And I can't get any followers. So you got to help me out. You got to get people to start following me. You know,
at Ethan Miller and on Twitter. Go follow him. Go tweet at him. Yeah. I mean, it took how long it took me to get 500 followers.
This is ridiculous. I'm getting no buzz. You know, I'm getting a couple likes here and there. A couple people mentioning me, but I got to get some more love on this app. You know,
you got to put some work into it. You know, maybe drop some comedy on there, make people laugh, and
you know what? That's what I got to do. That's what I got to do.
I've seen some of your clips on Instagram and stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty solid, man. I mean, I as long as you can make people laugh and not make them too offended. I mean, I think that's definitely the smart move, also, because I mean, you in high school, you just. I mean, I was smart enough to not put anything too bad on Twitter, and because my parents monitored it when my dad follows me, so I couldn't put anything too crazy. But yeah, it's definitely the smart move because you could get like that full-time producing job. You know, you've always wanted. And Ethan Miller. Let's go find him, and then Ethan Miller said this. Let's screenshot it. Let's cancel Ethan Miller. Like it is definitely the smart move, restarting everything and
exactly
coming from the bottom.
No, exactly. That's what you got to do nowadays. No, I think you're right.
It's crazy how you think of like 2012, like when you were in high school to now, like how different it is. I mean, nothing was. I don't think people are getting offended. Like I feel like even in like 2019, but what really started it was in 2020. I think everyone just got bored with COVID and all that. Yeah, and then all the the George Floyd stuff, and then everything. It was just a horrible combination. People sitting at their house with all this horrible stuff going on out in the world, bored on Twitter all day. I mean, it was just not just not a good situation right there for society. People are getting really pressed, and Twitter was so bad in 2020.
I think social media is the worst thing that's ever happened to society, to be honest.
Wow, that's a hot
I
take.
think I think it is. I think it people don't know.
There's some goods to it. Like, don't get me wrong.
Well, no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, no, there's some goods to it when it comes to
it's
people
just
having a community. Yeah, people have a community to go to.
Yeah.
But there's certain things to it where the negativity, the language and people's opinions and thoughts, and people are so dialed into this social media that they forget what the real world is.
Yeah, and a lot of it with social media now too is like, let's say me and you get into a debate over Twitter on the Phillies, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a strong disagreement. Like, and a lot of people don't think about this, but would you say what you said on Twitter to their face? I mean,
most people
95% of the people on I'm not calling out everyone on Twitter, because most people, like 60% of people are actually like fine. Like, I have no issue with them, but these other people, they just behind their little iPhone just typing away all these hate. You're not gonna say that to my face. Come on, dude.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's
even
bad.
Even like if I was say like on the board or something for Fox and someone didn't like my work, and they're not gonna call in and like most people aren't gonna call in and openly rip me. Like, come on.
It's toxic. It's not good. It's actually pretty bad, if you ask me.
I feel like it's gotten I don't know. Like, I feel like it's gotten a little better, but maybe I'm just getting better at staying out of stupid debates.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I was just talking about this with numerous people. So, thank God Damar Hamlin's fine, right?
Yeah.
That was a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. But what took away from his injury and the importance of him getting healthy was social media and people worried about Skip Bayless tweeting, and people worrying about social media and not the real aspect of the guy, the real life itself. People were so dialed up.
Life.
Yeah, so people were so dialed up on social media, it's kind of contradicting itself. People are like, oh, your thoughts and prayers should just be for Damar, but then again, you're taking your thoughts somewhere else and throwing your anger at something like Skip or somebody else. It doesn't matter.
I agree.
You're taking away the purpose, which is Damar. It wasn't Skip or anybody. So I don't know. It's just social media can just be very toxic. It's that's the whole point.
Yeah,
they don't have to figure that one out.
Yeah, and the thing is with it too is, don't get me wrong, like, because I put out, like I said, delete it because for Skip, it's embarrassing. You don't need to go through all the headache. Like, I mean, come on, what you got to do? I get his point. I really do. Like, okay, this is a big step, big game, but the way he worded it was just wild, and I was like, what put my one tweet about it, interacted with a couple people, and that's all I said. I was like, it's whatever. Like, at the end of the day, after it all happened, after the initial shock of Damar almost losing his life on the football field, well, he kind of did. They resuscitated him, and after all that, I was just like, I kind of realized, like, you know what? It's not even worth it. Like, Skip's just, and this is why I don't like sports TV. This is why I'm a radio guy. And first things first, and Cowherd are like my favorite TV guys, because all these guys just do these like BS narratives to try and piss people off, and they don't think. I want raw, natural sports talk. I don't want you making up your own opinion just to piss off the other people and the hosts on TV. ESPN is their TV, sports TV is terrible. It's it's just not what, I mean, that's why I like radio, and I hope radio keeps, obviously I don't think you can disclose this, but Fox is getting a lot more scholarships, and the other thing you were telling me a couple weeks ago for the Bernie Fratto show, I mean, Maybe
yeah.
radio's on the up again. Maybe people are starting to like Fox Sports Radio and sports radio again because of all the sports TV stuff.
Yeah, that's a great thought. And some other things is, podcasting is going to be huge within radio.
Yeah, because I mean, half these people, like I'm sure a lot of the militia, there's a lot of silent militia people who just wake up in the morning. Oh, I'm getting ready for work. I'm, morning coffee. Let's turn on the Ben Maller show and listen to these lunatic overnight, hosts, producers, callers, stuff like that. And that's the beauty, because you can have a podcast on at any time. I mean, if you're in the shower, if you're, working out, if you're on a walk, if you're driving, if you're cleaning, I mean, it's so, and with the phones, I mean, we go back to the phones and all that, it just makes it so much easier to listen to stuff. So I think that's a lot of it.
Do you do you think callers adds like to the show, or do you think it takes away from shows?
On overnights, I'm a caller guy, and for some show, like daytime shows, I think callers do good. Like the way Chris and Rob do it, the way Cavino and Rich do it, I like that way. But I just feel like, sometimes the callers, like Paul in Rhode Island, it's another guy. We've called out so many people this episode, but Paul in Rhode Island, this guy, he's so he just is so bad that you want to listen. So right. I think there's that where, that, and also I like the interaction between the hosts. I don't like, and I'm not gonna name names, but there's some weekend people who just, it's them and their other co-hosts, no crew, no nothing, just them talking, not even tweets or phone calls. And I think my if you guys want to call, if anyone is in here and wants to comment or wants to hit me or Ethan up later about the show, I'm gonna respond to you, or at least like your tweet, or like the comment. So I think interaction is huge to radio. Sometimes some callers can be worse than others, but I definitely think there's some good for callers. What about you?
No, I think I couldn't agree more. I think weekends at the hour I'm working tonight, I think callers are huge. I think you need callers to keep the show interesting, because it's 3 a.m. in the morning, you've already heard all the takes from the sports day during the day, so at that point it's like, all right, you need something else to fill the show, because you've already heard all the sports takes. Not much going on at 2 a.m. in the morning. So it's always good to fill it in. Like, you'll see we're going to be adding some things in for both shows, for Bernie's show and Ann's show, where callers will have a segment, get the call in and do that kind of stuff. Because it's just adds, like you said,
and also I feel like it depends on how long the show is too, because you got, people like Gottlieb who have to get their takes out there, and their show's only 2 hours long, so it's kind of hard to fit callers in. But you got, like the Odd Couple, they have their system. If you have your system, work, and it's consistent and good, I have no issue with calls, man. And
like Philly sports radio is very big into callers, like Gargano, Cataldi, and all those guys over there.
So here's, I got a question. With speaking of Gargano, so since he is, Chris Perfett, one of the greater tech producers over there, left to go to, evenings. Mm-hmm. So are you going to get more airtime? Or is it just going to be him and Figgy, or is Mark going to kind of do that third person role? Or
so I'm going to be hopping in as like a third host. So I'll be getting more airtime as the weeks move forward, definitely. I'll definitely be stepping in for Chris more. And I'm excited. It's going to be a good time. Excited to give some sports takes. I'm excited for the NBA season, college basketball. It's more my speed than
you're not a big NFL guy, or
big NFL guy, but I'm not a big college football guy.
All right, we're in agreement here, because I watch it occasionally and all that stuff, but I'm just not like, I feel like there's just a lot of blowouts in college. That's why I don't really like it. Yeah. And also I feel like there's just too much. Like I don't know how Aaron Torres does it, man. I really don't know how he knows so much about that sport when there's so many schools, so many. It's honestly incredible. And to know all, like, what he does about professional sports, like Aaron Torres is a mastermind.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's like an encyclopedia when it comes to the
I know. It's crazy. Emmett Douglas, along with Ethan Miller, get Ethan on Twitter and Instagram at Ethan Miller Ent, E-N-T. Get me on Instagram, like if you want to follow the show, Instagram and TikTok, Blindside_sports. I finally changed the handle on that to make it more simple. Probably change my Twitter that too eventually. But why don't we go over to some sports real fast, Ethan?
Yeah,
you're a big Eagles guy, and
yeah.
I like the Eagles this year because I predicted them to be good. Jalen Hurts is battling that shoulder injury. It looks like he's going to come back. Are you concerned for the Philadelphia Eagles in the playoffs?
No, I'm not. I think that these last 2 weeks with Gardner playing weren't the legitimate Eagles. I think people are judging them on the last weeks, but the last 2 weeks they haven't had the MVP of the league before getting injured. So that has a huge difference in what your offense is going to do, the motivation for the guys, team. You're also at that point. I think you were what? It was 13-1. You're like, all right, we're 13-1. We're already in the playoffs. We could take it easy. I think the Eagles come back and they absolutely pound whoever they play in the first or the second round. They're gonna beat the Giants this weekend, and they're gonna win their first game in the second round after the bye. Probably, I don't know who it'll be against, but they'll take care of business. They'll be in the NFC Championship, and we'll see if they can get it done. It depends who they're going to be playing against. To be honest, I don't think there's a team in the NFC that could beat the Eagles right now besides the Niners.
Not even the Niners. Okay.
Besides the Niners. The only reason I think the Niners could beat them is because of their defense.
Yes, their defense is great, but they kind of got tore apart a little bit. The Niners defense.
Yeah, I mean the
Niners a little bit last week.
The Niners is a team that I could see. I mean, look, Brock has stepped up, but you got to also realize the Eagles defense is, really, really good as well. So, Brock's going to have to go against an elite defense like that, an experienced playoff defense. A couple guys have won Super Bowls on that defense. Not saying that the Niners don't have that, but that, people don't really realize that the Eagles have that too. And I think it'll be like,
the Eagles, I think they're, a pretty solid defense. I agree with you. The Niners are obviously the best in the league, and you're kind of debating a wall at that point. I mean, it's not particularly close. Maybe the Cowboys are second. I just don't buy the Cowboys in the playoffs. I mean, it's a choke fest every year. They had horrible play calling last year in the playoffs. They lose and win the weirdest games, kind of like my Seahawks. And I think for the Eagles, and I had Gargano on a while ago, and I was like, yeah, it was like week 2. I predicted the Eagles to be good, and we were talking about, he was saying the defense is key and all that too, and I think he's a little bit worried about the defense, and I mean they've definitely proved everything wrong. I mean, AJ Brown and Devontae Smith have proven to be an elite wide receiver group. I mean, the thing is with Jalen Hurts is the people that were hating on Jalen Hurts was he wasn't passing the ball well. Well, these receivers are, and he and him, because it takes a little bit of improvement. I mean, Jalen Hurts has showed everyone out. I think you brought up MVP. I think the way the Eagles have played without Gardner kind of proves how valuable Jalen Hurts is to that football team. I don't know if he's for sure going to win it because of missing 2 games and all that. Even though Mahomes, I mean, he hasn't been like on Hurts' level the past couple. If Hurts was playing, I think Hurts would be on it, especially in that Dallas game. I think it would have been like 48 to like 48 points probably. And I think it's going to be interesting to see. Hurts has to come back, play against the Giants, and then if they win that, which they should, there's going to be a bye week. So, I mean, if his shoulder's still bothering him, he has 2 weeks to rest up. And I don't know, because I'm a big believer after last year's, depending on the franchise, sometimes the bye week can hurt. I mean, let's go back to last year. We had the Packers, that first round bye. They went at home and embarrassed themselves against San Fran. And you had the Titans, who had a first round bye, and Joe Burrow, my guy Joe Shiesty, came to town and got sacked 6 times. Ryan Tannehill threw 3 picks, and the Titans lost the game. So, you have to wonder if the bye week's good. But I think for the Eagles, with Hurts' shoulder injury, it's probably the best thing that could happen to him. I mean, if he can't throw that ball well because of pain in his shoulder, they're not going to be successful. And also, it's cool to see Miles Sanders be healthy for a full year and carry the ball. That's key. Not a lot of people are talking about that, how healthy and how good Miles Sanders has been this year. I mean, he's been good, but he's never healthy, and that's the issue with it.
You don't think that guys like Devontae Smith and AJ Brown can step up? And
I do.
I mean,
do you see AJ Brown dropping
that's why
touchdowns a week?
That's why I don't know if listen, Jalen's got to be healthy enough to throw the football. All right, he doesn't need to be 100% though for them to go to the Super Bowl. I think that's what I mean. Like, as long as he can just get these guys the rock and make plays happen, scramble out a little bit, just if he's 85% and and he's just and the only thing he's missing is just a deep threat, or something like that, then fine.
Nick Sirianni can game plan around that. I think.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
as long as we just get our threats the ball, then that's the main thing. As long as you get the ball in their hands, it's all that matters. Anytime you lose a football game, it's because your stars didn't get the football for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be the main thing, and Miles Sanders is going to have to step up, like you're saying. So
it's what's going to have to happen for the Eagles. I think their toughest playoff game could, if they somehow play Dallas, that could be kind of challenging. But I think the big challenge, like you said earlier, is definitely the San Francisco 49ers. In terms of the AFC, though, this is the whole, and this is, you're going to bring this up with Bernie and Ant tonight, and then the Red Zone show on Sunday, I'm sure. But the playoff show, or the playoff standings, because of the unfortunate events of the Damar Hamlin injury, are very confusing now in the AFC. So it's like if the Ravens beat the Bengals, they play the Bengals, but it will be, this is, I don't like this because I just think it's stupid.
Yeah, you don't like
the flip a coin. Come on, really? I mean, you're the NFL. You're like one of the smartest organizations for sports, and you can't think of a better way than a freaking coin toss.
Which one's the coin toss? If
the Ravens Bengals wild card. So if the Ravens,
Ravens, I don't love that one either. I agreed on everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the neutral site for the AFC Championship. Okay, because the one less game, I could see that. And then there's some other ones. There's so many scenarios here that, it would take a lot to break them all down. But just know that you're gonna have to say it. You pay attention to Rappaport and Pelisaro's Twitter if you want to fully understand the playoff picture on Sunday or Red Zone. Scott Hansen does a great job, NFL Red Zone guy. So we'll know more on Sunday. I mean, we've never had anything happen like this before where they've had to cancel a game because of something like this. And another thing, speaking of canceling the game, Damar Hamlin motivated the crap out of his teammates this morning, I'm pretty sure, over that FaceTime call. I think hearing his voice to them was probably one of the best things that could have happened to them this week. They are going to mollywop. Sorry to steal K-Fig, or Figgy, Kevin Figures. Sorry to steal his word, but the Patriots are getting mollywopped on Sunday. For Damar Hamlin. Every touchdown, I feel like Mac Jones is going to throw a couple ugly interceptions. All of those for Damar Hamlin.
So, who do you think's getting out of the NFC, and who do you think's getting out of the AFC?
Ooh, okay. So I had a bet on this. One of my last shows did with former Fox Sports Radio tech producer Nick Wright, and I was like, not the TV Nick Wright, and I was like, he had the Niners, and I had the Eagles, and we made this bet literally 2 days before the Jimmy G injury happened, and it was a DoorDash bet. VJ Husky. Nick Wright, I do a lot of shows with him. He worked at Fox for when I first started listening, left right before the pandemic, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he's I know you're talking.
Chargers fan. Yeah. You gotta charge your phone.
Yeah,
Heard
no,
that.
I charged my computer. It was dying on me.
Oh, I always charge this thing. I don't know why. Like I just never unplug it because I'm like the one day I forget to charge it, and then you have like a major episode or something like major to do, and then don't have any battery. I just leave it plugged in. It's probably bad for it, but
Yeah.
but yeah. For the I think the Eagles are still gonna do it. I think their only real threat, like you said, is the Niners. For the AFC, I'll give you my Super Bowl pick at the start of the year. I said Rams, Chargers. Chargers are making the playoffs. I just don't know if they can win a Super Bowl, man. I think the Chiefs and the Bills are going to be the top two. I think Joe Shiesty is going to make a fight for it. I just don't think they're going to make it 2 in a row, especially if they play Kansas City. I think Kansas City, after everything, their history with Cincinnati, they're going to come ready to go. So I think Kansas City and Buffalo are going to be like the top 2 out of that team, out of the AFC. It's kind of wide open at that point. Like not a lot, not like a for sure lock like in the NFC. I really want to see a rematch of Bills Chiefs. So that was awesome.
Yeah, no, so you think it's going to be, give me it one more time because you cut out a little bit on that last comment.
All right. I got the, did you hear the NFC or you need all of it?
No, I need all of it. For some reason, you cut out. I don't know if my computer was like lagging. Oh, you're good now. You're good now.
All right. So I said the Eagles out of the NFC and the Chiefs and Bills out of the AFC. I think those are going to be the 2 teams. I think the Niners are the Eagles' second closest, and I think the Niners actually give the Eagles a hard time. That's going to be, if they match up against each other, that's going to be a really fun playoff game. And cool. The Chiefs and the Bills, I think, are going to be really fighting for. I hope we see another Chiefs Bills playoff match. That was freaking incredible last year. The Bengals, I think Joe Burrow's definitely going to be on his Joe Shiesty behavior again. But I just don't know if they're going to 2-peat, especially with what happened. I think Mahomes, with their history, losing to Cincinnati and the way they did, if they play Kansas City again, the Bengals do, then I think Mahomes and Andy Reid are going to be on their freaking best A game.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. All right, I see where you're at. I kind of agree.
Who you got? You got Eagles, Niners. Those are your top two in the NFC. And
yeah, I like the Eagles, Niners, and if it's not Eagles, Niners, I got. Let me make sure. Hold on. It's not Eagles, Niners. It's gonna be the only other 2 teams that can maybe sneak in, are the Bucks and Cowboys.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't trust the Vikings. The Giants stink. The Cowboys can make because they got it's their defense, man. Their defense is good. You got to give their defense. And the Bucks, with them, it's just Tom Brady. So if anybody's gonna get knocked off, I think like it could be those 2 teams that knock off the Birds and Niners, but I don't see it happening. I do think that Aaron Rodgers is gonna get in that 7 seed.
Aaron Rodgers is a fraud in the playoffs. They're gonna be down by 3 in the wild card in the last 4 minutes. In the last 2 minutes, he's get their 3 straight incompletions. I mean he's just not the Aaron Rodgers.
Who gets in that 7 seed though? Seahawks, Detroit, or Packers?
Okay, so this whole like kind of thing confuses me. So if the Seahawks beat the Rams, then they get that 7 seed, right?
Yep.
So this is why I kind of thought it was weird, and I said this on the show the other day, and the Lions Packers got flexed to Sunday night, and it could be pointless. I mean, it could be a pointless game. Could be. And what I was thinking, but the reason they can't do this is because of stupid TV deals and all that. It was, why don't, and it's all TV. What they should have done, if I was the NFL and I had, a lot of freedom, if I was Goodell, whoever making the broadcast teams and all that, I'd put the Seahawks Rams on Saturday morning, and then I would figure out, all right, let's say the Seahawks won. All right, we're not having the Detroit Green Bay game on Sunday night. If the Seahawks lose, then we can do that. But life isn't that simple. There has to be more complications to everything. So, yeah, unfortunately, that couldn't happen. If you want me to be completely honest, as a Seahawks fan, I'm a little worried about Cam Akers dropping like a like 150 piece on us, and it's not looking good for the Seahawks. I think we could stop Baker. I'm not even worried about that, dude. It's literally all the run game. Our run defense is garbage.
Listen, Seattle should get in, but if they lose, I think Green Bay beats Detroit.
Okay.
If they lose,
Chris Perfett's gonna be in studio that night. He's good. If Detroit wins and Seattle loses, he's gonna be on a. Man, Perfett's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, no, he will not be too happy. I'll tell you that. Yeah, that'd be a bad. I mean, listen, that's bad. Detroit. I thought here's the thing with them. Going into the season, I was like, all right, they'll get the 7th seed, they'll get the 6th seed. Then they had like a terrible like mid-season, right? They were like, I think it was like 4-8. I want to check. I forget. Hold on.
Week 4, I think it was like week 4 was like their last like solid game, and then they kind of went downhill for a couple weeks, and then came back on like Thanksgiving.
So they were 4-7 at one point.
Yes.
And I was like, all right, season's over. But then they went on a 3-game winning streak, beating the Jags, Vikings, and Jets. And I'm like, all right, like if they don't make the playoffs now, they blew the season. Then they drop it to the Panthers. I'm like,
yeah, that was such a weird game for them to drop.
Yeah, and then it's like they just beat the Bears, and now they're in a situation where they may not get in the playoffs if the Seahawks win. It's just a disappointing season.
Yeah, and I had the Lions actually making it, and I got called crazy by like a couple people, and no one expected them to be like as good as they even are. I mean, do you remember? You work with Perfett, so you probably hear about Lions stuff all the time, like while you're in the producer's seat. But do you remember when people are calling for Dan Campbell's job?
Oh yeah,
and that's another thing. And look, some coaches, yes, they deserve to be fired early. I will say that, but come on, give these guys a chance, bro. Like I understand, like Urban Meyer, okay. I mean, Nathaniel Hackett, yeah, okay, that was obvious, whatever, right? Like it was too much of a bleep show. But this whole Mike McDaniel getting fired after 1 year, I just don't know if I can do that. Same, and Dan Campbell's obviously not getting fired now. I mean, look at him. But just people calling for his job in like week 7, week 8. And you got to look at it this way too. The Lions were battling some injuries at that time. I think Dan Campbell's done a remarkable job with this team.
Yeah, I think that he's been a huge part of their comeback. I think that without him, I don't think they would have made a comeback. I think I'm totally on board. People don't give him enough credit. Aiden
Hutchinson's been a beast this year too. Good pickup by the Lions.
Guy's been an absolute
stud,
dinosaur. He's been a dinosaur.
Yeah, he's not human. That's for sure.
Yeah, so
definitely a dinosaur.
I would like if Seahawks lost, I would like to see the
go Detroit. If Seattle loses, go Lions.
Yeah, I'd like to see Detroit win. Yeah, no doubt.
Go Lions for Chris Perfett. Go Lions. And I have one of my good friends are the Lions fans too, so I got reason to root for the Lions if we lose. And I don't really like Rodgers.
Yeah, yeah, I get it. I'll root for the Lions too if you want me to root for the Lions.
You can root for whatever you want, but I saw a tweet you put out the other night. You won 2 out of 3 fantasy leagues.
Oh yes, I did. It got a little fishy. I almost had to hire a lawyer for my other league.
Was it? Were you playing against Josh Allen or something, or is that?
No. I had I was up 11, and the other guy had T. Higgins. Ooh. And it gave me the championship. Right. And
so I had a very similar situation to that actually.
Mm-hmm.
So I was up by 7 points, and this guy had Josh Allen, and obviously we know what happened with that. So my cousin, who's the commish, was like, oh, what are we like? It took a couple days. I didn't hear if I won until yesterday. And which I end up winning. He's like, we, unfortunately have to treat it like an injury. And this guy was kind of mad, the dude I was playing. But I'm like, I don't know whether to feel happy about the win, because I know I would have lost if if that whole thing didn't happen. Like, there's no way Josh Allen would have had less than 7.5 points during that game. So, like, right. I was like, I kind of feel bad for the dude, but, like, is a win a win? Like, am I bad for saying that?
I mean, technically a win's a win, but
not the way I'd want to win my league. That's for sure. We'll say that.
It just depends what your league decides to do.
Yeah, exactly. So did you get that win? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I got that win. We decided.
What was it? A Fox Sports League or something, or your friends league?
It was just friends league out here. And then my college league, I was I'm up 70, and he's got Stephon Diggs and Joe
Burrow.
So no, Joe Mixon, and so we're letting him finish out this week, and with those 3 players, and we're gonna see.
That's a good idea.
If I win or not. Yeah, it's just the most fair way.
And then your other league, what place did you take?
In the third league, the third league, it was my high school league, and it was I think I came in like 4th or 5th. I was the 2 seed going in, and I just lost, unfortunately. This guy had a really good week.
Yeah. One of my things too was Devontae Adams kind of there's a couple weeks like where I could have just stacked on points, and I just had some bad like decisions but like when Devontae had those cool games, I just had the gut feeling to keep him in, because it's with those good players like a Devontae, like a Tyreek Hill, like a J. Jeff. It's just like, if I bench them for this week, they're just going to go off. And that conscience in the back of your mind always ruins it. Right. Always. Every single time, man. And I was the 1 week I told you this, I don't know if it's on the phone or on Twitter, but I started Gardner against Dallas. That did good. So I rode the hot hand, and he only got me 13 points. So if I had a different quarterback, this whole Josh Allen, like even if I got like 5, 6 more, 7, 8, 9, 10 more points, maybe like my win would be a little more legit, because who knows if Josh Allen would get 17 points in a game. But unfortunately, Gardner, come on, man. You had to have a bad game in a championship. I was rooting for you, Bo.
Listen, everybody was rooting for Gardner, but he honestly lost.
He's such a character.
So many people, they got ruined. I mean, championships were just ruined. But
I know. And then, last week was weird because.
I mean, Gardner stinks, but
What
he does stink. I mean, he stinks. I mean, what are you gonna do? It is what it is.
Yeah, it's what back up. But last week, it was just such a weird week though in the NFL. I mean, you had Tom Brady throwing 3 just bombs to Mike Evans, and then Justin Jefferson was kind of quiet, and then Jared Stidham like dicing up the Niners. Like what?
Yeah, just crazy, just insane.
Nobody expected that.
No. Nobody expected that at all. No. Yeah. So it should be a good postseason.
Oh yeah. Last year was one of the better ones, but I think this one's going to be really good as well. A lot more storylines, I think. Emmett Douglas, Ethan Miller, Blindside Sports. I have to ask you. You asked me, who was my favorite, podcast to do. All right. Who's your favorite host to work with on FSR, or your favorite? It could be your favorite, board op or update person.
Well, I love
besides BT.
Yeah, I love
Brandon Truff is a goat, but
I love everybody at Fox Sports Radio. But I'd say I like Gargano a lot.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Really guy. So probably I love all the shows, but Gargano's probably my favorite just because I listened to him growing up in Philadelphia. Now working on his show is kind of like a dream come true.
Yeah.
So I probably had to say Ant.
Yeah, Ant's really cool, man. I mean, dude was really really easy, to get on the show. Really nice guy, family man. His kids are in sports, loves it. I mean, he's cool. You were on Cavino and Rich last week. I think you can fit in really well with those dudes.
Oh, I love them. They're literally my favorite. But they have Danny G as the producer.
Wow. We're on the live air. I can't even dump that. So if you get in trouble, not my fault.
What? What was the problem?
They have Danny G as the producer.
No, they do. So that I don't work on that show.
But yeah, okay. I thought you were taking a
That's
shot
right.
there. My bad.
No, I
was
wasn't.
like, wow.
No, I love Danny. I love Danny.
Danny's a good guy, man. I mean, every time I call in, we end up chopping up the Raiders for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, Danny's the man. I always chop with the Raiders with him. No, I'm saying I don't work on his show. Their show.
But you filled in, yeah.
Yeah. So when Danny's when he's not around, I'll probably be filling in a lot more, just because they're more of pop
Your
culture,
type. Yeah,
comedy. We'll talk about other things around the world.
That's what I was like. I saw you told me that I got rescheduled on Dan Patrick, Cavino, and Rich are filling in. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's gonna be a good show.
Yeah. So you ended up listening.
I listened to the podcast. I was not awake at 6 a.m. I was called in if I was awake.
It was a good show. It was fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, you've been all over the place. You did Husky and Torres on Christmas and shared the cash, which I gotta say that was dead on. The cash. I mean,
the cash, right? The cash.
Yeah, you gotta get cash for Christmas. I mean, you got these people giving you like underwear and socks. Come on, just give me the money. If I want underwear and socks, I'm gonna go choose my own. Right. And the decorations. I mean, I can understand that. I think the most overrated part about Christmas, though. Oh, that's a hard one to answer the question. I know we're a little late here, but just because you answered it, I gotta say, probably the absolute horrible insanity of people Christmas shopping. Man, it's just so bad. You can't like the local mall in your area is always filled to the brim. And another thing that's overrated, and I hate this. Why are we getting Christmas ads and Christmas music in October?
True. I got no idea. They got to cut that out.
Yeah. And I really didn't realize it until like this year. I don't think it was as bad also because we had this, I mean, at least in my state, we had the midterm elections and all that. So we still had other crap on our TVs. I think I'd rather have the Christmas music and all that stuff than election ads. Those things are just terrible.
Yeah, no, they are.
Oh, this guy sucks. And then, oh, this guy sucks because he can't do this. Oh, she's terrible. I'm like, no one talk about toxicity.
Yeah. No, honestly.
Yeah. I gotta ask you real fast, because sports guys, I'm just not trying to waste all your day here. So obviously sports guys love food, man. Do you have an underrated and overrated fast food place? And then can you make a better Philly cheesesteak than the ones you get in LA? Those are my questions.
Okay, good questions. Overrated fast food, In-N-Out. Place sucks.
Oh, dude, come on.
No, let me tell you why. Okay. They're making too many at once, and the quality isn't there. Like I live right next to an In-N-Out. Right? I go all the time. I get the fries. I get the the burger, and it just doesn't. It doesn't really hit for me. I gotta be honest, and I don't like the sauces on it. Like I don't know.
So it's personal preference. All right.
Yeah.
That's fair. I have a hot take, and this one I don't know if it's because I only get it when I go to Oregon to visit family because we don't have it here in Washington. The In-N-Out, but their fries are underrated in their animal style fries. Oh man.
Oh dude, throw me off a bridge before I eat those animal fries again. No, I'm just kidding. But
underrated.
My most underrated, I'd say, is Chick-fil-A.
Yo, Chick-fil-A. I might have to go get that after the show. I haven't had it in a while because it's on the other side of town. But they got those nuggets, man. I think their sandwich is, honestly for me, it's kind of I'd rather go to Popeyes for a spicy chicken sandwich. But their nuggets, their fries. I don't know if you're a sweet tea guy, but their sweet tea, the Chick-fil-A sauce, man,
so good.
It's great. And I'm
getting Chick-fil-A right after this. I'm going.
We gotta go battle the lines, right?
Yeah.
But have to ask you because I got a lot of backlash from this from Bershinger, from Perfet, a lot of people on Twitter. And I put this out because of I don't think you follow me on Twitter at this point, so you didn't see it. But you know the Burger King ads, those really annoying, like triple Whopper, Impossible.
Yeah.
Burger King is in. I'm not trying to single out my BK, but it's just absolutely terrible, not good. It's for me that's my most overrated. And I was like, bro, how can you put all this quality in your ads and not your food?
I could see why you don't like BK. I think BK is overrated. I used to like their chicken fries when I was younger,
Yes.
but that's about it.
Yes, those are the good thing on the menu. I think the chicken fries and their chicken fries dipped in barbecue sauce is like what's good. Their breakfast used to be really good. I used to get that in high school like all the time, and that was like 6 months ago. But even then, the quality still gone downhill.
Yeah, no, I agree. Their burgers suck too for a place called Burger King.
Yeah, it tastes like so charboiled. It's not even good. But all right, if you're having a Super Bowl, you're having a little function at your house for a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And you got your friends coming over, you have your girlfriend. What are you guys making for like the food? Like what's the Super Bowl game day kind of?
It's going down with wings.
Yup.
It's going down with pizza. It's going down with soda.
Ding.
Down with some beer.
Ding.
Going
all
down
right.
with some fries.
All right. Ding. Another one. I don't have drops, so I can't hit the bell. I need to get drops somehow.
It's going down with some vegetables and dip.
There you go.
Going down with some chips. I do it all, baby. Come on.
All right. So last year ours was we did the wings, and this is underrated. And if I don't know if you or someone knows around you knows how to make these, but potato skins with like cheese and bacon, I only have them on the Super Bowl. Oh man, you just trust me.
What did you have?
Potato skins,
dude. I got potato skins in my fridge right now. I love potato skins. I was actually about to say potato skins, but I thought it was a violation.
No, it's not. Oh man, they are. We do is like I have an air fryer, so you put all your stuff in there. You'd air fry it for 5 minutes, like while you're watching the game or whatever. Dude, I had like 10 of them that night. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow, where do you get
the wings? I don't know. I think my mom would get actual potatoes and like actually take the filling out, like homemade. So that's why they're so good. I think. I don't know how to shoot it. But another thing for Super Bowl, you got to have the soda. That's got to have a very big variety of it. Maybe even you could go some juice or something too. Or Gatorade, some soda. But I think for a Super Bowl, if you're trying to go healthy, you're kind of a loser. You gotta go all out, right?
Yeah, you gotta go all out, 100%.
I mean, pizza at the Super Bowl. I mean that's obviously very traditional. Same with wings. Are you guys buying wings from B-Dubs, or you making it?
We're buying for the most part. We can make, but we're buying for the most part.
Yeah. I one of the things too is if you have the material, the time to make them, they're better. But I don't know those B-Dubs, just if you get if they're cooked right and all that, they're great.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Are you taking if the Eagles makes the Super Bowl? Are you not working that day?
No, I will probably not be working that day. If I had to guess, I probably am going to be at home or back in Philly. I don't know. But maybe I will be working if they need me to work. I mean, it would suck to have to work with your team in the Super Bowl, but you never know.
If they win though, if after you get home from that shift, you're celebrating.
Yeah, no, 100%.
You were working when the Phillies were there in the World Series. I mean, I think that one game you were on the air when it went a little late when Bernie was on the air.
Yeah, that was fun. So you got a nice little day ahead of you.
Man. Are you sleeping for the overnight, or are you going with your girl somewhere?
Yeah. I'm sleeping. I'm about to take a fat nap for a good 4 minutes.
I took a fat nap from 2 to 10. That was mine at 2
Oh,
a.m.
nice.
to 10 a.m.
There you go.
After I completed my call to Ben and harassed Mark. I didn't harass him, but I think he kind of felt that way.
Well, listen, you give a call tonight.
Yeah, if I'm back home and all that, I'll definitely call in. If I'm not, busy or whatever, I'm definitely gonna try and call in. But you doing any other stuff that the people, the masses want to hear about?
Yeah.
Like, I forgot to ask you about comedy. I knew there was something.
I'll just give you a little quick thing on the comedy. I just been so I'm like 26 now. I've been doing it since 18, and I've been on stage a good 500 times. Been all over LA, all the comedy clubs, the Improv, Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, Flappers, restaurants, all those good places. Love to make people laugh, makes me feel good. And I will be doing shows all year, all 2023. So definitely follow me on social media because I'll definitely be posting more clips this year. 100%.
Have you ever thought about like a podcast with like kind of mixed comedy and sports? Or
Yeah, I definitely have. It's definitely on my mind. I'm thinking about.
You work at Fox now. You got all the all the people. I mean, Perfett is a wizard at podcasting. Tyshirt can do his thing, help you. I mean, you can make something.
100%.
I mean, you're a funny guy. You have your takes. You could definitely make something.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. It's definitely something that's in the air. I'm thinking about. As I move forward with this year, I'll definitely give it some more thought, and we'll see. But I appreciate you for having me on. I'll definitely come on again when I get some time again.
Oh yeah, if the Eagles make the Super Bowl,
we'll do it.
You and Ant at the same. Right. If we can work that out, just like two diehard Philly guys come on and just bloviate about it, because I think I mean, if that happens, we'll do it. We can, if Ant's down for this, because I know you will be. We can even do a before Super Bowl and a post Super Bowl. Two Philly fans just go. I wouldn't probably have to talk very much. It would be you guys.
You got it. We'll
let him know about it. Tell him Emmett. He has my phone number. He knows who I am. He know.
I'll let him know. We'll talk to him later. Emmett, you're the man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yep. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like. Follow all the social medias. Ethan at Ethan Miller Ent on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to go check out those mentioned comedy clips or see what see what the life of a Fox Sports Radio producer is like, you can go follow him over there. Get me at EmmettNosi04 on Twitter, Blindside_sports on TikTok and Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and if you guys have any questions for us, tweet us. Hit us up on Instagram, and we'll be active. We'll be active. Yeah. So happy New Year! Enjoy the football. Glad we have some positives for football. I mean, glad we didn't bring this up too, but Damar Hamlin is doing much better talking to his teammates. So you love to see it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. See ya.
See ya.